Golf Central, brought to you by TaylorMade.
And we mentioned this layoff. 151 days it'll be between that final round where he finished last in the field among the players who made the cut in this first round at Muirfield Village. You got to go back to 2014 when it was 109 days. Again, these are gaps inside one single season. Well, who's he going to play with? It's not like he's never in a featured group, and whoever he has played with immediately becomes the featured group. He'll be with world number one, Rory McIlroy, and the guy who currently sits in sixth position in the official world golf rankings, and that is Brooks Koepka, who was a late add to this field after playing in the Workday Charity Open and missing the cut. And with that, why don't we head out to Muirfield Village? We are joined by Todd Lewis. He continues his own fortnight. He's never covered Wimbledon. It's the closest thing. He's at Muirfield Village. You know what? It's rare, Todd, when we have Tiger and Jack on the same property at the same time as we do this week. It's really special. You walk with Tiger this morning. What can you tell us about his first day back at work, so to speak?
Well, Gary, he looked comfortable. Tiger Woods was on one of his favorite golf courses, that being, of course, Muirfield Village here, as he starts his on-site preparations to win the Memorial for the sixth time in his already Hall of Fame career. He played alongside his friend and the runner-up from last week, Justin Thomas, and I can tell you that Tiger had some freedom in his golf swing, but more importantly, he seemed healthy and happy, and that's a big point because the last time we saw him competing, which was 5 months ago, it was out at Riviera in LA, and he talked about how his back was an issue then, but that's not the case now.
Physically, I was very stiff at LA. I was not moving that well. Back was just not quite loose. It was cold. I wasn't hitting the ball very far, wasn't playing very well, and consequently finished dead last. So fast forward 5 months later, I've been able to train a lot. I've been able to do a lot of the things that I hadn't done in a very long time, which is spend a lot of time with my kids and be around with them. It's been very different not to have sports, but we've been lucky enough to have had Medalist Open at home for most of this quarantine period. So it's been nice to get out on the golf course and be able to play and keep active that way. But as far as physically, I feel so much better than I did then. I've been able to train and concentrate getting back up to speed and back up to tournament speed. You saw how I was moving at the match, and I've been able to progress since then.
All right, Tripp, the environment is going to be unlike anything he's played, maybe junior high school?
Maybe had fans then.
Okay, we got to go before then.
Maybe, yeah.
Elementary school, when there were not just some people out there. With respect to the intangible effect on him and the rest of the field, who benefits from this most?
I think the guys playing with him do, because there is an intimidation factor of dealing with all you have to deal with when you're paired with Tiger Woods. And the worst place to be isn't necessarily paired with Tiger Woods. It's right in front of Tiger Woods' group, because there are literally 20,000 people that don't care about watching you play golf. They're trying to get in position to watch Tiger come through, and it's very disrupting. But in a different way, it's disrupting if you're in that group. Now, Tiger does, he's a rock star. Let's face it, when he's at a tournament, it's a different atmosphere. And maybe he might be a little flat because of it initially. I think it'll be an adjustment period for him. I think that's what he was alluding to there, that, he's always had something around him going. So it'll be a little different. And you go back to watching the match, how well he played there. That was a small, no fans, whatever.
Right.
But a different, totally different atmosphere. Now we're playing on the PGA Tour, trying to win his sixth Memorial and trying to break touch history, which he will do. He's going to win 83, and it could happen this week. But the other thing, too, is the effect of Tiger having a charge, just like what he does at Augusta National or what he does at majors. When he's ahead of the group and the leaders, and somebody who is not proven is trying to win either for the first time or, trying to win again, and you hear those roars and You know who it is because it's a different roar than what you hear. I mean, what is a normal loud roar on tour, a Tiger roar is completely different. So yeah, there will be some adjustments, but look, I mean, Tiger I think will adjust to it, and it'll be something that'll probably be behind him after the third hole. He instead of raising your hand, because I mean you get used to making a birdie and hearing and so that's got to kind of stop too. So.
Yeah, his pick comes tomorrow. You got Morikawa last week. Just an early little look-see. Is he in your top 5?
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
Top 5.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Why wouldn't you pick him here? I
right.
mean, if he's now you might say, okay, well, he hadn't played in 115 days. Yeah. Okay, that's a long layoff, no question. But he had a long layoff before Zozo. He didn't play since the BMW, and he showed up in Japan and won. And he had a month layoff from Hero to Farmers, and he finished tied for 9th there. Yep. Played very well at Farmers, just didn't get it done on the green. So I definitely think for Tiger Woods, it's going to play well this week because I love his golf swing, what I saw today.
Okay, well, Tiger returns to the PGA Tour in the midst of a global pandemic. Sports enterprises are simply trying to execute plans to allow for their sports to be played. He also returns amidst a time in our country's history where social injustice and police reform has likely never been examined as thoroughly since maybe the civil rights movement of the late 60s. Now, earlier today, Tiger, who is one of the biggest cultural icons in the world, was asked where this nation currently finds itself.
I think change is fantastic. As long as we make changes without hurting the innocent. And unfortunately, that has happened. Hopefully, it doesn't happen in the future. But a movement and change is fantastic. That's how society develops. That's how we grow. That's how we move forward. That's how we have fairness. And unfortunately, we've lost innocent lives along the way. And hopefully, we don't lose any more in the future as we move to a much better place socially.
Now, on the heels of last night's program on NBC Sportsnet and Golf Channel on Sports and Race in America, hosted by Damon Hack, the thoughts of the most famous athlete in golf, not unlike LeBron James in basketball, will be closely examined in the days, months, and likely years going forward.
Wow, minutes. Where do you begin?
Yeah, everything. I mean, 18 majors.
19 runner-ups in majors. That's the number that really just jumps out at me.
46 top 3 finishes in majors. So he could have won more.
That means he was very close to winning 37 majors. Unbelievable.
He's got 6 green jackets.
That's a bunch of dead-gum golfing, I'll tell you that.
The poise that he played with under pressure, that's how you win all these tournaments.
Think about that, fans. 6 green jackets.
To share that number with Jack Nicklaus, it's very cool, very special to be at 18 now.
I have played with some of the greatest ever, but this resume right here is just amazing.
The more you look at the data of accomplishments, the more your mind starts to implode. Jack Nicklaus was an unrelenting champion who either won, scared others from winning, or most certainly frightened even more when coming so close so often. Earlier today, Todd Lewis spoke to the host this week and the greatest major champion in golf history.
Well, we're going to miss the people. That's for sure. That's the sole reason why I did this tournament to start with. I was at Augusta in 1966. We sat down and talked, said, wouldn't it be great to bring something back like this, the Masters, to Columbus, where we grew up and where, the people have been so supportive and given us everything that we've gotten. And that's what Barbara and I were talking about, and she agreed and I agreed, and that's why we did the tournament, was to bring it back here. So for not to have them see it this year, it's sad for me. But, we've prepared it exactly the same. The golf course is prepared the same. Everybody's going to be able to watch it on television. There's great coverage will be for the week. And, I don't think they'll miss a lot, except that I just happened this morning to look at a picture of the 18th hole last year, taken from about just short of the tee shot. And the sea of people. I mean, there were I must have been looking at 25,000, 30,000 people in this one little spot. And I said, well, we're going to miss that. But, you know, it is what it is. I think the tour made the right call. I think a lot of the players are a little skittish about it, and I understand why. If they happen to get sick, then they're out of work for 2 to 3 weeks, mandatory. So I understand that totally. I understand the protections being taken. I don't think any of these guys would get very sick. They're all in good shape, but that's not the point. The point is that who else is going to get sick from them?
You mentioned that the golf course you feel like is going to play similar than it would a month earlier, like it is normally on the schedule, or is it?
Well, it might. And actually, it's if we don't get much rain, the course will play firmer now than it will, at the end of May or 1st of June, which is good. The Poanya's there, but it's not seeding this time of year. The golf course will be great. The rough should be, it was not deep last week. We didn't want it to be deep last week, but it's grown for a week, so the rough will be there. The fairways will be, if they run, the ball will run off into the rough. The greens, it always depends whether it rains or not, whether they'll be firm or not. So we'll see. The greens will be a couple feet faster too.
Finally, about another great champion here, and that is, of course, Tiger Woods, resuming his PGA Tour schedule at your event as he tries to win for the 6th time. What should fans expect from Tiger Woods from a competitive perspective, in your opinion?
I really don't know. My guess is that Tiger's been playing at home. I don't know. I haven't seen him, but he doesn't like to come out and not play well. He likes to be prepared. He's probably pretty healthy, which is good. When Tiger's healthy, and he's going to be a little rusty, I suppose, but Tiger's never too rusty. He's 43, 44 now? 44 now. He'll be pretty good. I know. I always looked at my own career. A lot of times I stopped playing golf around September, and I didn't touch a golf club really until January, and when I was living up here in Ohio. But I would go out and play at Pebble Beach. Usually it was my first tournament. I won it, 3 times. So, sometimes you're ready because you really want to make yourself get ready to play when you first come out. So I'm hoping Tiger will be in that shape.
Well, Tripp, Jack started meeting Tiger off the 18th green in 1999.
Yeah, it became a habit there in
Yes.
99. Yeah, and then 2000, he beat Ernie Els by 5. Yes, shooting 19 under that year. Oh, by the way, hey, Jack, I'll see you in a year. And we come to 01, and he just beat Azinger, a former champion, by 7. And then 09 beat Mr. Jim Furyk. And fast forward to Tiger Woods in 2012. Winner by 2 with a final round 67, and that's the last time he stood there with Jack. And they may have to socially distance on Sunday, but he could get win number 6.
You're exactly right.